All right, got new shocking reports. A mosque outside of Washington, D.C., with connections to at least 2 9/11 hijackers, has been doing outreach inside American prisons for the last decade. Government documents reveal the mosque is a known front for Hamas operatives and has been linked to numerous individuals linked to terrorism financing. So how the heck does this happen? Here with the details is the man who uncovered the story, Ryan Mauro. He's the national security analyst at the Clarion Project. Ryan, how did you come across this?
Well, Dar al-Hijra, the extremist mosque, sent out a fundraising pitch where they're asking for donations in order to continue their prison outreach that's been going on for over 10 years, despite the fact that it takes about 30 seconds to find out the extremism of this mosque, the fact that it's connected to Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood, that one of the founders was part of the Muslim Brotherhood apparatus in the United States that was set up to advance Hamas. And so this is one of the most extreme mosques in the country getting access to prison inmates.
And what do you say to people who say this imam doesn't preach hatred, doesn't preach anti-Americanism, doesn't preach Islamic extremism?
Well, he is openly a supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood, and there's a videotape of a lecture that he gave last year at a high school in Virginia where he blatantly said that Muslims need to be first in line to get arms for jihad.
Might this be a portion of that speech? Let's look.
They are the first in jihad line. They are the first in the da'wah line. But they are last if anything is being distributed, except if it is arms for jihad. We are the first ones to rush and run to defend our community. Are we lining or are we afraid because they may call us terrorists?
Wow. So he's speaking that to a high school. I mean, you got to be wondering about the appropriateness of this and who booked him.
Right. Well, there was a certain Muslim group that booked him as a speaker. I believe it might have been happening after hours, but this still took place inside of a high school. And the same mosque is openly saying how they have access to prison inmates. And if you want to get an idea of the ignorance of our elected officials on this issue, consider the fact that the Virginia House recently passed a resolution praising this mosque.
Unbelievable. And in 2010, they found sermons from Anwar al-Awlaki, the legendary anti-American imam that was droned to death, thankfully. But he had been basically looked at as more powerful than bin Laden.
Right, and he was one of the imams of this mosque, and his lectures and the lectures of various other radicals still can be found in prison libraries.
And what's the response been?
Well, if you talk about this, you're an anti-Muslim bigot. Advocates of this mosque will say that you're an Islamophobe. And we're not saying that even everyone that goes to this mosque is an extremist. We're just saying, look at that lecture that took place, and we want a magnifying glass to be on this. We want our officials to be educated.
You would hope so, before things start blowing up again. Ryan Mauro, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Meanwhile, 3 minutes before the bottom of the hour, coming up straight ahead, you see us on